Hi guys, today I'm filming my Beauty Empties number 18. If you guys have never seen one of my Empties videos before, I will have my playlist linked down below for you guys. I film my Empties every 3 months so that I have a good selection of products to show you guys, specifically so I have makeup to show you. I like to organize my Empties into categories, which I will have listed down below with the times that they start in case you don't want to watch everything, which I totally understand. And I'm also going to list and link individual products just to make it easier for you guys. These videos tend to be very long, so I'm just going to jump right in, starting with the body and random products category. I have 2 products that I am going to be getting rid of, but I didn't finish up. The first is the Sebamed Balsam Deodorant. This is the sensitive solution. It is aluminum and alcohol free, and this is a little roll-on deodorant. I did get this sent to me a long time ago, and I did use it for a while. It was a nice roll-on deodorant, but I don't find that it did the best job of keeping me from sweating or stinking. Next, I have a face cream, but it was something I was using on my body. This is the Studio 35 Beauty, which is the Walgreens brand. This is the Alpha Hydroxy face cream, and this is a cream that I've heard about a lot as being something good for keratosis pilaris or chicken scratch, and that would be these little white bumps on my skin, and mine looks red. You can see how red my arm looks right now, and I was trying to get rid of these before my wedding. It has almost been a year since I've been married, which is freaking crazy, but this was supposed to help calm my skin, get rid of some of those bumps, and it didn't work at all for me. And I have tried using this on my face, but it's just way too strong. And the rest of the body products are things that I have used up. I finished another deodorant. This is the Dove Dry Spray, the clear tone version with these little pearls on it. I absolutely love this spray deodorant. It does not leave any white marks, and it does dry very quickly. And I absolutely love this. It does a good job of keeping me smelling fresh all day, and it does keep me pretty dry, and I will continue to repurchase that deodorant. I've used up a little travel size body lotion. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Mega Rich Body Lotion. I got this at a hotel, and it was a really nice lotion, and I have oily skin head to toe, and I don't need a ton of moisture except for in the winter time. My hands can get really dry when I get out of the shower, and that's how I was using this. It did give my hands a nice amount of moisture, but it did sink in completely, and it didn't leave my hands feeling greasy. So I did really like this, but I'm not going to repurchase it because I'm sure it's very expensive considering it is from Peter Thomas Roth. I have the Equate Beauty 100% Acetone Nail Polish Remover. This is the 6 fluid ounce bottle, which is the smaller size. This is under $1 at Walmart. I go through one of these about every 3 months, and I change my polish once a week, so this lasts me a really long time. I know acetone might not be the best for your nails, but it removes all of my polishes so easily. I would think about getting maybe the strengthening version next time because I don't wear glitter polish anymore, so I don't know if I need this intensity, but I don't see any negative effects on my nails. This works really well. Absolutely love this, and I have already repurchased it. Next is a very random product that I have mentioned a couple times. This is the Clear Eyes Cooling Comfort Redness Relief drops, and I usually don't like to mention random things like this, but I have very sensitive eyes. I do wear contacts. My eyes have been really red the past couple days, and I've been using this, and it's helped a lot. So highly recommend this, and it seems like I go through one of these about every 3 months as well. And then I have 3 little perfume samples I've finished up. I have Marc Jacobs Daisy. I own this one in the full size. I would describe this as a grown-up professional businesswoman floral scent. It isn't too powdery floral or too young. I think it is absolutely fantastic. The only negative is that it's an eau de toilette, so it doesn't last as long on me as an eau de parfum. Then I have the Wildfox fragrance. This was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. I was able to work through it, but it's not something that I would purchase. And then I also used up the Dolce & Gabanna Light Blue Eau de Toilette. This is incredible. I love this as a really nice light fresh scent for the springtime, and I was really lucky that my sister gave me a rollerball that she had gotten in a gift set. So I absolutely love this fragrance, and it was a total surprise favorite for me. So I would definitely recommend this one. Then I had a Bath & Body Works hand sanitizer in the Winter Candy Apple scent. One of my all-time favorite scents. I love this hand sanitizer because it makes my hands smell nice, and they also feel clean and fresh, and they don't feel sticky like some hand sanitizers will make them feel. So definitely recommend and will repurchase this. Next I have some room scent type products, and I finished up 2 of these little room freshener bathroom sprays. We had 1 in each bathroom, and these are in the scents Sand and Sun and Lavender Vanilla. I had actually gotten these during my bridal shower. My aunt knows a lady that owns this brand, and she had done these custom labels for my bridal shower to give away as gifts. So I have repurchased this, and I wanted to tell you guys about the company. It is called Just My Scent, and it is a room and linen spray, and it is a 2-ounce bottle, and this lasted us like 9 months. Using these very frequently, 1 in each bathroom, they each lasted about 9 months for a 2-ounce bottle. I think that's incredible. It is from the website justmyscent.com. I will have the website linked down below. You guys, this is incredible. This is not something I would normally have mentioned in this video, but I loved it so much I had to tell you guys about it. So of course I've tried Febreze and all of these other air freshener aerosol sprays, and it seems like they aren't getting rid of an odor. It's just masking it and laying on top, mixing together and smelling almost worse. And this spray does an incredible job. You just need a few spritzes. The whole bathroom or any room that you're in smells very fresh. Whenever I'm gonna have a guest come in the house, I always just go through and just spray a little bit to freshen it up. And it's incredible. Seriously, this is the best room spray I've ever used, and it lasted us such a long time for being such a small bottle. So definitely make sure you check out this website if you are looking for a bathroom spray or a room spray. I highly recommend it. I'm so impressed. We already have a backup for each bathroom, and I'm going to continue to repurchase those because they are such phenomenal quality. And then I have 2 Bath & Body Wallflowers. I have the Mahogany Apple and the Winter Candy Apple scent. I love apple scents. This one is a little bit warmer. The Winter Candy Apple is a little bit sweeter. I love these so much. Winter Candy Apple is my favorite scent in all of the Bath & Body products, but this Mahogany Apple was really great for a Wallflower, and I do really enjoy these. They last a decent amount of time, but I'm not going to purchase any more of these. I have 1 more that I'm using right now, and then I will be done with them. And I think the reason for that is that our house is more of like an open area. The kitchen, the dining room, and the living room are all kind of just like this one open space. So I had one of the Wallflowers out there, and you can only smell it when you were close up because it wasn't a contained space, so I couldn't smell it as much. But I just don't think this is something that I need for my house, and if I am wanting a little bit of freshness, I will just spray some of this. So these are fine, but they just don't work for the layout of our house, so I'm not going to repurchase these. Next, moving on to hair products, I finished quite a few things, and it takes me forever to go through hair products that are full size. The first thing I have is the Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care Almond Oil Shampoo. I do get dandruff usually on like second day hair. I do get some dandruff flakes, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm not getting out my hair products good enough. I don't really know what it is, and it's not that they get all over my shirt. It's just that I can see little pieces in my hair, and I'll just like pull them out. It's not a ton, but it's enough to make me feel self-conscious. I think that this did a really good job. I did really enjoy this. It lasted me a long time, and it didn't overly moisturize my hair, which is what I was afraid of because I do have very oily roots. This did a nice job. I am using a Suave shampoo now that has been my holy grail, and once I use it up, I think I might go back to this because I'm liking this one more. But I know that L'Oreal just released some new hair care products, and they have a dandruff shampoo, so I might try that one, see what I think. But if you guys have a dry flaky scalp or dandruff and you have a trusty shampoo, please let me know what it is in the comments down below. And then I have a couple products from my Project 10 Pan sample editions. I like to always keep these going. I have hair and skincare products in those projects. I'll have my playlist linked up here in case you want to check it out and maybe get some more in-depth thoughts. So I have this travel size of the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask. A lot of people raved about this. I was using it in the shower as a deep conditioner. This dried out my hair so bad, and I was just applying it from my ears to my ends. This dried out my ends so bad, and my ends are already dry, so a lot of people on YouTube rave about this. I thought it was absolutely terrible, terrible, terrible. I was so glad it was used up, and I will never repurchase this, and I definitely don't recommend it. And then I have a couple dry shampoos. I finished the Suave, Revive, and Refresh dry shampoo. You can get this from Walmart for around $3. This is my holy grail dry shampoo. It does a great job of soaking up all my oil. It doesn't leave my hair feeling gross, because some dry shampoos do that. Sometimes I get a white cast, but not usually. So I definitely recommend this one, and it is super inexpensive. I've already repurchased it. And then I had a little mini that I had in a project pan. This is the Klorane dry shampoo with Nettle. This is the oil control version for oily hair. The Klorane brand has a couple different versions of their dry shampoo, and this was not good. Even though it says it is the oil control version, I don't think it did a very good job of soaking up the oil. It was so mediocre compared to the Suave, and I know that this one costs way more, so I definitely would not recommend this or repurchase it. And then the most exciting hair product that I finished up is the Suave Moroccan Infusion Styling Oil. I've had this, oh gosh, I think since my senior year in college, or maybe my junior year in college. It's been a freaking long time, and I've been using this really consistently every time I wash my hair, which for me is every other day. It took me years to go through, but this is very inexpensive. It was okay. It made my hair smell nice, feel a little bit softer, a little bit shinier, but it's not something that I would repurchase because I didn't see a ton of results from it. And then my last hair product is my hair dye. I did recently dye my hair over this past month. This is the Garnier Nutrisse Nourishing Color Cream. My shade is number 93, Light Golden Blonde. This is the hair dye that I always use, and I re-dye my hair about every 3 months. It's when my roots get a little too grown out, and my hair is not what you see in the box, which is something that I know because I have redheads in my family. Whenever I dye my hair a golden blonde, it automatically pulls red, which is what I like. I love that strawberry blonde hair color on me. I think it actually looks pretty natural. This is a really good formula that is easy to work with. My mom is the one that dyes my hair, and this is a good conditioner like consistency, so it's really easy to work through the hair without making a big mess. So absolutely love this, and I will continue to repurchase it. If I ever decide to try a different color, I'm most likely going to pick it up from this line because it's just such a great formula. So highly recommend, and I will repurchase. Then moving on to skincare products, I have one thing that is not finished up, but I am tossing it. This is a sample of the Clinique Super Defense Age Defense Eye Cream. Maybe this was just a free gift at the time, and it is a half-ounce bottle. I saw no results with this. I don't think that it left my under eyes feeling extra moisturized. It didn't do anything to diminish lines or puffiness. This did absolutely nothing for me. I've had it for a long time, so I'm just gonna throw this away. So moving on to skincare, first I have a whole bunch of little foil packet samples that I have been using up over the past couple months. Most of these are moisturizer except for one little serum packet. I don't have a ton of in-depth thoughts on these. From now on, I'm gonna take little notes on these foil packets because I'm just forgetting my thoughts by the time I do these videos, and I can tell you I don't love any of them enough to purchase them. So first I have a product from Klorane. It is the Hydra Essential Intensive Moisturizing Quenching Bi-Phase Serum. I hated this, and I'm thinking that it has to do with the packaging. This is a bi-phase serum, which usually means there's 2 layers of products that you need to shake up and then apply it to your face. Well, in a foil packet, I can't necessarily shake it up, and it was just like all oil that slopped everywhere. It was so messy. I don't feel like my face was extra moisturized. It just felt greasy and disgusting. So maybe it was because the fact that it was in this little sample packet, but I absolutely hated it. Would not recommend. And I know Klorane is expensive. And then along with that was the Klorane Hydra Essential Moisturizer. This was okay. It had a really nice light scent. It did moisturize pretty well, but nothing extraordinary that I would go out and buy it. The next one is the Juice Beauty Oil-Free Moisturizer. This was such a lightweight moisturizer that it didn't moisturize intensely. It was so basic that it's definitely not something that I would repurchase. Then I finished the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, which is made for people that have more normal dry skin. I absolutely hate this. This is like my least favorite moisturizer of all time. It just feels greasy. It feels like it's sitting on my skin. Absolutely do not recommend that if you have oily skin. And then I finished the Clinique for Men Moisturizing Lotion. This is so much better than the other Clinique moisturizer, and this doesn't have a manly scent, so men or women can wear this, but this seems like a really great basic hydrating moisturizer that would be awesome for men because it isn't too much or too little moisture. This was good, but it's not something I would repurchase. Then I used up the La Mer Moisturizing Soft Cream. This was really nice. It made my skin feel really moisturized. This would be something I would love to use at nighttime, but you think I'm going to pay the price of La Mer? Absolutely not. Then I finished this Ulta Beauty Radiant Skin Sleeping Cream, which is an overnight moisturizer, and it has vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. It is supposed to brighten and hydrate. This made my skin feel nice, and the Ulta Beauty brand is pretty inexpensive, but it's not something that I would write home about or repurchase. And then was the one that I was the most excited about, that was the most disappointing. This is the Tatcha Water Cream Refreshing Anti-Aging Pore Perfecting Japanese Wild Rose. People with oily skin have been dying over this. I remember that I didn't quite care for the scent. It's not terrible, but like it wasn't that good. It didn't moisturize very well at all for me. It did nothing. And I know Tatcha is freaking expensive, so absolutely not. So I didn't like any of those enough to repurchase them. I would not even pick up deluxe sample sizes if they were available. Don't recommend any of those things for me personally and my oily skin. Moving on to my other skincare products, I finished 2 full-size and 1 travel-size pack of the Neutrogena makeup removing wipes, the original ones. I buy these in a big box from Costco because the price is so much better than buying them individually from the drugstore or from Walmart. I'll have a direct link for it down below. I'm pretty sure you can even buy it if you don't have a Costco card on their website, so highly, highly recommend those wipes. They do an amazing job of removing all of my eye makeup and face makeup without burning my eyes. With all of their makeup wipes, either they don't remove well enough or they burn my eyes. So these are perfect. And then I have a bunch of deluxe size products that were in my Project 10 Pan Sample Edition. So I do have a cleanser. This is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Cleanser, and this is just a little 0.25 fluid ounce size. I like the smell of this. It has a tea tree, minty-ish, mostly tea tree kind of a scent, which I love because the scent makes my skin feel even more fresh. This is a really nice lightweight consistency that was kind of like a hand soap, but in a good way. It wasn't too drying, it wasn't overly moisturizing. I did really enjoy this, but I know Dr. Brandt is very expensive and I don't think it's worth the price, but it was a really good product. And then I finished up the Equate Beauty Quick Action Pads. These are the dupes of the Clearasil Rapid Action Pads. I think these work exactly the same scent, the same texture on the pads, the same results, and these are several dollars cheaper. So I definitely recommend getting the Walmart brand of these. Absolutely love them. I love using these after my makeup wipes to make sure I'm getting off any residue, and it makes my face feel really clean. This can be a little bit intense, so I wouldn't recommend it for sensitive skin. Next, I finished the Lancome Genifique Youth Activating Concentrate. This is the 0.27 fluid ounce bottle. This actually took me a really long time to use up. For me, there were no results, absolutely none. This is hella expensive. So I didn't see any results from it personally, but I know other people like Kristen Game really love it, but it's not something I would recommend or repurchase. Next, I finished a deluxe size moisturizer. This is the Belief True Cream Aqua Bomb. I think this is incredible. This is an amazing, amazing moisturizer for oily skin because it hydrates my skin just enough without being too moisturized that it feels greasy. It sinks in completely, but I feel completely moisturized. And as I said, I did not recommend any of those foil packet samples of moisturizer, but I totally recommend this. And this is one of the only high-end moisturizers I can see being worth the money. I am going to keep this little container, and I was lucky enough to be able to get 3 different foil packet samples from Sephora. So I am probably going to empty out all of those packets into this container and use it again. But I am going to get this whenever I can, samples or deluxe size samples with orders, because I was very, very impressed with that, and it's totally worth the hype. And then I have 2 masks. I have the Carez Wild Rose Advanced Brightening Sleeping Facial. This does have an intense rose scent. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually got pretty used to it. And this is an overnight mask, which I love because basically it is just like a really thick, intense moisturizer. And in the morning, I just wash my face and I'm good. So I liked using this for a mask because it was easy, but it just felt like a really hydrating moisturizer to me. And I know Korres is expensive, so it's not something I would repurchase, but it was an okay product. And then I finished another mask. This is the Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. This took me forever. I actually got quite a few uses out of this, and this is something I just put in my T-zone. I don't put it on my cheeks because my cheeks are normal and the rest of my face is oily with large pores. This did a really nice job at making my skin feel fresh, but I didn't see any actual results. I wasn't less oily, my pores weren't smaller. And as I was getting towards the end of this sample, I felt like it was making my skin very sensitive, and once I wiped it off, my face was very red and it felt hot. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't think Glam Glow is worth the hype or worth the money, honestly. I do have another one of these sizes of this exact same mask that I got in a Sephora Play, so I will be using that, but I didn't care for this. I don't think it did anything at all, but I'm not a mask person. So lastly, we have the exciting part, which is makeup, and I actually have a ton of products. So I film my empties every 3 months, but I do project use it up updates every 2 months, and in those videos is where I give you in-depth reviews on the makeup empties, and I never want to spoil those updates in these videos. So when you guys see my empties in one video, I'm gonna have 2 months of makeup empties, and then the next video is gonna have 4 months of makeup empties. And this is the video with 4 months of makeup empties, which is why it looks like there's so many more than last time, but that's what the deal is with that. All the rest of the products are the 3 months of empties. So first I'm going to be starting out by showing you some products that I'm going to be tossing. I am doing a separate series on my channel called The Chopping Block Will I Declutter, where I show you items I'm decluttering for my collection, and I also unfortunately have had a lot of products expire on me. So I'm going to give you those in-depth reviews in my chopping block videos. So I'll have that playlist linked up here, and really quickly I'm just going to run through the products and show you which things I'm throwing out. So the first 2 products I'm throwing out are the ColourPop Super Shock bronzers, which have been discontinued. I have the shades Skinny Dip, which is a matte finish, and Paradise Cove, which is a satin finish, and these have completely dried out. They were not an easy formula to work with to begin with. And then I have the Sleek Cream to Powder Blush in the shade French Rose, a beautiful color, but this has completely dried out and I'm not able to work with this anymore. And then I have a whole bag of lip products that have gone bad on me. I swear lip products have been expiring on me left and right this year, when I feel like I haven't really had products expire on me before, so that is just really sad, but that's just the name of the game. So the first thing hasn't quite expired, but it's something that I don't like. It's broken. I've had it for a couple years, so I'm just going to toss it. It's a ColourPop Lippy Primer. As I said, it is broken and detached from the base. I don't think that this did anything at all for my lips, so it's not something that I would repurchase or recommend. And then I have a bunch of ColourPop liquid lipsticks that have gone bad on me, and all of these smell like glue. I have the shade Solo, which is a matte finish, and this is the oldest ColourPop lip product in my collection, so I've had it for a couple years, so this one makes sense. I did repurchase this color because it is one of my all-time favorites. And then I have 4 different Ultra Satin lips that these aren't very old, but if you have Ultra Satin lips that you've had for more than a year, smell them and see if they smell like glue. Now I don't know if that means that they've expired, but because I have actually had my lips have a reaction to expired products, I don't want to screw around with that anymore. So the 4 shades that have expired on me would be Molly, November, Alyssa, and then I do have another ultra matte lip in Seesaw that, as you can see, the color is separated and the consistency has changed on that. But for these 3 Ultra Satins, I repurchased Molly because it's one of my favorite shades. I like Alyssa in November, but because they expire so quickly, I'm not going to be repurchasing any of them unless they're my favorite shade. So make sure you smell yours if they are a year old and see if they stink too. Then I have a couple glosses. I have a MAC lip gloss from the Archie's collection. I love this packaging so much. This is in the shade Kiss and Don't Tell, and I can tell that this has expired because it no longer smells like vanilla. That's how you can tell when MAC lip products have expired. So I'm going to be back to MACing this. Oh, I wish I had a powder product from this collection because I absolutely love Archie's. Then I have two Buxom Marvelous Moxie Buttercream lip glosses in the shade Forbidden Nude and Perky Peony. This scent has completely changed on these. They weren't my favorite gloss formula to begin with, so I'm not too sad about those, but that is just an immense amount of lip products that's expired on me. And then I have some makeup products, but they're kind of random as well. I finished a brush cleaner. This is the Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleaner, and this is the 2 fluid ounce bottle, which I believe is $8. I've already purchased this. I use this to spot clean my eye brushes. It does have an intense vanilla scent that at first bothered me, but I've gotten used to it. But this is amazing at cleaning even my white hair eyeshadow brushes, getting out all the product. It dries really quickly. So this is my holy grail all-time favorite spot cleaner, so I highly recommend you guys pick this up to spot clean your brushes. And then I have a whole heck of sponges that I am tossing. So I actually have 2 of the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponges, and I meant to toss this one in my last empties, but I forgot about it. And I am just getting rid of these every 3 months, even though I don't usually have a problem with mine tearing or anything. I just feel like 3 months is a good amount of time for these sponges. So I am getting rid of both of these. This one I actually used up until today, and I do have a backup ready to go. And then I have a Real Techniques Miracle Mini Eraser Sponge. It comes in a set of 2. I love using this under my eyes to blend out concealer. I love the large size for foundation. And the little mini erasers are not necessary because I can definitely just use the pointed side of the regular sponge. And I've been using this for many, many months, and even though it is perfectly fine, I figure just to be sanitary and hygienic, I'm gonna get rid of that and move on to my backup. Once I finish the backup though, I probably won't repurchase them, even though they're awesome, because they're not necessary, but who knows, we'll see. They are very inexpensive. And then my third sponge is the Pure Cosmetics Cameo Contour Sponge that came with the Cameo Contour Stick. I love the shape of this because it's round on the bottom like a regular beauty blender, and then it has this flat angled tip, which is awesome for applying powder under the eyes. I really love this a lot. I have been using this most recently to apply my liquid bronzer. I have a few more uses left in that, so I will be using this a couple more times, but once I finish that product, I will be tossing this. I would love to repurchase it, but I have heard that they changed the texture of their sponges and they're no longer as good, which is so upsetting because this is such a unique shape to me. So if you've seen a sponge that is similar to this with a round side and a flat edge, let me know. And then I have a bunch of makeup foil packet samples I have used up. I have finished several different foundation primer samples. The first one I have is the Lancome Le Base Pro Pore Eraser. This is basically like any pore filling primer. I do really enjoy this, but because Lancome is very expensive, I'll probably purchase another kind instead, but it was very good. I have 3 samples of glowy primers. I tried the Burberry Fresh Glow Luminous Fluid Base. This was nice. It gave a nice subtle glow, but because it's Burberry, I don't really think it did anything to justify the price. Then I have the Hourglass Ambient Light Correcting Primer in Mood Light. It had a little bit of a pink tint, which I don't like because I have a very yellow skin tone, so I definitely would not repurchase that. And then I have the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer, and people were saying this was not supposed to be a primer, it was supposed to be a highlight. This was like liquid glitter, but it didn't seem like a consistency that would be good for a highlight, so I absolutely hated this. Definitely would not recommend that at all. And then I have a bunch of cheek product foil packet samples that I finished up in my current project pan, which is a viewer's choice roulette featuring all high-end products. I'll have that playlist linked up here. I finished the Sephora Colorful Blush in the shade number 5 Sweet on You, a beautiful pink coral. I really, really enjoyed that formula, a beautiful matte blush. I would think about repurchasing, but I have shades that are very similar. I also finished a little foil sample of the Benefit Do the Hoola Liquid Bronzer. It was more warm tone, but because it was on the lighter side, I found it easy to work with. It was a liquid product, but it had a creamy consistency, so it wasn't really runny, but it blended out very nicely. I think I would like to get a little deluxe size sample of this to try out even more because I was really enjoying that one. Then I finished a foil packet sample of the NARS Laguna bronzer, which is a really nice formula. This is something I was using to bronze, but it's too dark for my skin tone to bronze. It's something better to contour for me, but I did enjoy the formula of that. And then I finished this little trio of the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzers. The milk chocolate I used to bronze, the original chocolate, and then the dark chocolate I used to contour. And these two are more warm. The middle one is more of a cool undertone. I loved all of these, but the milk chocolate soleil is something I would definitely purchase in the future. It was a beautiful shade and formula for my skin tone, so I would definitely recommend these. They worked really well. And so the rest of these products are either full size or deluxe size products I have used up, and I have done in-depth reviews in 2 different project use it up updates. I'm just going to have those up here in the cards, just cycling through in case you want my more in-depth thoughts, because right now I'm just going to show you the product and let you know whether I would repurchase it or not. All of my other thoughts will be in those videos because this is already a very long video. I finished a deluxe sample size of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is the best glowy primer I've ever used. I'd be happy to get another deluxe size sample, but it's not something I would repurchase because it is not targeted towards my skin type. Then I also finished the Scandinavia Makeup Primer Spray, the oil control version. I didn't notice that this did much for me, so it's not something I'd repurchase. And next I have 3 foundations. These are all very close to being finished, so I didn't obviously use them start to finish within these past 4 months. This is the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation in the shade Light 45. I love this because it is a really very full coverage foundation, great for oily skin. I would love to repurchase this in the future, but in the shade Light 43, it is very fair and warm tone, which I think will be a better shade match for me because this one was a little bit too dark and peach. Then I finished my Holy Grail foundation combination of the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade 1W1 Bone and the Hard Candy Glamouflage foundation in the shade Porcelain. Mixing these together creates my perfect shade and the most perfect texture. Phenomenal formulas and colors to give full coverage, and it lasts really well on my oily skin. I have repurchased these 2 and I would repurchase this one in the future. So next I have actually 3 under eye setting powders that I finished, which is crazy, but again, these are all things I've been working on at the same time basically and for several months. Specifically this one, the Midnight Cameo powder. I've been working on this for years. This is a really great, very fair pink tone powder. I would contemplate repurchasing this. I'm not sure as of now, but I would certainly think about it. Then I finished up a deluxe sample size of the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is incredible, totally worth the hype. I definitely want to get a travel size of this. I definitely do prefer this powder over the Ben Nye for an under eye setting powder, but they're both nice. And this one is a lot cheaper, but I like this one a lot better. And then I finished one of the Wet n Wild Fergie Mattifying Take on the Day powders. You guys have seen so many of these used up in my collection. I used to really love this. I don't quite enjoy it anymore, so I'm trying to work through all of the ones that I have, and I definitely will not repurchase it. I was able to finish up one face powder, the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in 100 Translucent. This is one of my holy grail powders. Definitely will repurchase it. And then I finished a bronzer. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Bronzer in Bronzed and Chic. I actually only finished up the top half. The bottom half cracked and I tossed it because I do have a backup. Unfortunately, this was discontinued, but I would highly recommend it. It was an amazing drugstore matte bronzer. Next, moving on to brow products, I finished a deluxe sample size of the Benefit Ka-Brow Brow Pomade in the shade number 1, which is the light blonde shade. I really loved this formula, but I don't really love brow pomade, so this is not something I will repurchase. I finished 2 brow mascaras, one tinted and one clear. The tinted brow mascara is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara in the shade Blonder Over Yonder. It's nice, but I do have another tinted brow mascara I prefer, so I will not repurchase it. Then I have the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This is the best clear brow gel I've ever tried. I have a couple backups, so this is something I will continue to repurchase, specifically if I can get it on sale. I finally finished the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer. This is just a deluxe size sample, but it lasted me a year. I did really enjoy this. It's something that I'm not sure if I would purchase or not, only if I can get it on sale, but it did do a really good job. Somehow I finished up an eyeshadow. This is the Milani Bella Eyes in Bella Cappuccino. This is a really great, very light, neutral leaning, cool tan color. I'm on the fence about whether I would repurchase it or not. I might have similar shades, but it was a really nice shade and formula. I finished 2 liquid liners. The first is the Kat Von D ink liner. This is just a deluxe size sample of her felt tip liquid liner. It was really nice, but it dried out too fast, so I'm not going to repurchase that. And then I have the Jesse's Girl liquid liner, which is a brush tip pen. Towards the end of its life, the tip really started to fray out, and for that reason, I would not repurchase it, but it was a waterproof liner, and it was a nice formula, but I just have better. Then I finished 3 different mascaras. First is a sample of the Sephora Lash Craft Length and Volume Mascara. I think this did absolutely nothing for my lashes. I do not recommend this at all. I also finished the Benefit They're Real mascara, which is such a classic formula. It does give some nice length and separation, but it isn't something that I love enough that I would repurchase it. And I finished the Pure Cosmetics Fully Charged mascara. This does give some really nice thickness and volume, but it is very expensive. I don't think that the full size works as well as the little mini size, so it is not something I would repurchase. Lastly, for lips, I actually have a ton of products. I finished 2 of the EOS Smooth Sticks in Sweet Mint. You guys know how much I love these. My Holy Grail lip balm, definitely will repurchase. I finished 2 different lip treatments. This is the C.O. Bigelow Mentha Lip Shine, the Ultra version. I did really enjoy this, but it was a little bit sticky, so I wouldn't repurchase. I also finished the Yesta Coconut Cooling Lip Oil, which took forever. This is an okay product, but I don't think it moisturized my lips enough, so I would not repurchase it. And then I finished 2 deluxe sizes of actual colored lip products. The first is the Sephora Rouge Brilliance lipstick in the shade number 14, which is either Love Letter or Love Spell. Pretty color, but I did not like this formula at all. I would not repurchase. And then I finished another deluxe size. This is of the Pixi Lip Lift Max Plumping Gloss in the shade Sheer Rose. I did really enjoy this, and I would contemplate repurchasing this. So guys, that was my super duper duper long empties. I would love to know your thoughts if you guys have tried out any of these products. I would also love to know what things you have finished up recently. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.